smiling, Jack.
I'm ready to beat some heads.
That could be taken in many ways, but okay.
There he is.
That's not what I meant.
Man.
Man, I'm
okay.
gonna win this debate.
So we posted something on Instagram, and it pretty much was like Superman saying to Batman, I couldn't have done this without your help. And Batman says, I know. Said something stupid. And then I wrote
facts. He just dropped facts.
I said blah 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 Batman whatever. And then I got like I went back and forth with so many Batman fans, and I'm like, I'm sick of Batman's superiority. He is not superior to Superman. And I was going back and forth so much that I'm like, this is a great debate that we have not touched. So gentlemen, take first, Chris and Jack, take off your rose-colored sunglasses.
Okay. I came prepared to play.
Oh my God. We are going to ask you this question. Who is better, Superman or Batman? And to make sure that we're not just going to operate off of emotions and rose-colored sunglasses, there's a series of questions we have to answer as honest as possible.
Okay, but if you say rose-colored glasses one more time, I'm going to obliterate you.
Jack, I promise I will not say rose-colored glasses anymore.
You just said it again.
I won't say rose-colored glasses.
You just said it again.
That's the last time I'll ever say rose-colored glasses ever.
Oh, mother.
So here we are. Who is the best, Superman or Batman? Areas of ranking, first question. Who has the best content in all forms of media?
It's an easy one.
Wait. Let's hear all the categories real quick.
Here's all the categories real quick. Who has the best content in all forms of media? Who is the most iconic? Who's the better hero? Who has the best cast of characters? Who has the best origin story? Who has the better secret identity? Not its effectiveness, because they're both effective as much as the story needs them to be, but its character. Who has the better costume? Who's the most fashionable?
Let me say this.
Wait. But before we jump in completely, what I'd like to do, so we don't lose track of this, for posterity's sake, as we go through the categories you mentioned, after everyone said their piece, I think we should get a score from each person, 1 to 10.
No.
Well, just say 1 through 10. Just rank it. The reason why that is then you have a potential 70 points per character will tally up who's actually wins by the end.
There's no ranking. It's who's the best, Superman or Batman. Batman won this, he gets a point. Superman won that, he gets a point. Like, what are we ranking?
Okay.
Well, the reason why that might be relevant is there's 4 of us, so you could still tie it.
If it's tied, it's tied.
All right, let's do it then.
All right.
It's your debate question.
I'm like, what is this 10-point stretch? we talked about this, Jack.
All right, let's go.
I'm going to tally. Wait, let me just write this down. I'm going to tally it up. I'm going to just put the category so we can keep track of our points. All right.
Oh, I've got it.
Oh, boy. Who has the best content in all forms of media?
That's
your
easy.
Unbiased, truthful answer.
Batman.
Batman.
You go back to Batman. You go back to when we were kids. You have the animated series. Which animated series can you rewatch over and over and over again?
That's fair. Batman. For animated, yes. Batman for video games, sure. But not TV.
Wait. What about the Nintendo 64 Superman game, Jack? We got to fly through all the rings. You tell me that wasn't a bad.
Listen, I'll give you. Batman's got better video games. Batman's got better animated series, sure. But not TV. Batman does not have a good TV show. You got Smallville was better Superman content. You got Lois and Clark, which was great Superman content. And you had Superman and Lois, which is one of the best things on TV right now.
But Batman
you tell me the Batman equivalent.
Movies. Batman owns the movies.
Yeah.
Great.
So Batman.
But Batman also Batman has more movies, and they have more shit movies also.
But he also has the best. So does Superman. What are you talking about? Superman ruined the franchise. Superman Returns was awful. Superman the Prior. What are you talking? Superman had one good Superman.
But content also is comic books.
Batman stories are better and more iconic.
More iconic than, say, the death of Superman?
Long Halloween is better.
Sure. Long Halloween is better.
The Dark Knight Returns is better.
Death of the Family.
Year One is great.
Yeah, Batman's comic book stories are better than Superman's. Is more consistently better than
I'm looking
Superman's.
at my
Earth One, Red Sun, Superman Reborn, all seasons. These
This
are
is
great
not a
stories.
question. Batman's comic book stature is crazy.
I mean, true brothers say so because they're more into it than I am. I'm gonna take their word for it. All
I
right,
think I'm sorry. I think Batman won this category.
there it is.
Superman wins in TV.
That's
but
it.
Batman wins in the other categories.
Sweeping.
Sorry, brother.
Oh,
Who is the most iconic? Who is the
This
most
is an easy one.
I'm gonna
Superman,
have to give-
100%.
I give this one to Superman. He represents, truth, justice, and the American way.
yeah, that's true.
Well,
Superman.
I'll say this for posterity's sake. Superman was originally created in 1933 by Siegel, right? Sketches in 33. Kane invents Batman, and first Superman comic drops in 38, right? Action Comics drops in 38. Superman gets his own comic book line in 39. Kane capitalizes on the success of Superman, fast-tracking a Batman comic, which lands in 39. So everything about Batman is based off the success of Superman having success.
Jack.
That's
So,
fair.
Jack,
Iconic?
We said Superman.
We give this a
Yeah, but I want my victory.
You got it, Jack.
I want my
it,
point.
Jack.
got
I
it,
think we
Jack.
agree.
He was waiting for everyone to say Batman. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna get these guys right
You
now."
got it, Jack. Who's the better hero?
Superman.
Superman, guys.
Batman beats on villains. Superman saves galaxies.
Yes,
people.
Superman does. I think.
And-
Go ahead.
And he even saves kittens from trees. Who's the better hero? Come on.
Superman's a better hero.
I'll
Like
give
Superman-
it Superman, yeah.
Superman motivates Batman to be better. Like, Chris, come on.
There you go.
Doing
All
it.
right, fine. I'll give you Superman on that one.
So Superman, okay, Superman's in the lead. Who has the best cast of characters?
Batman, the real.
Batman,
would say Batman.
hands freaking down.
But this is interesting because their cast of characters supports the content of their character. And so if you look at Batman's supporting characters, you're looking at mostly villains and other vigilantes. You look at Superman's cast of characters, you're looking at other humans. Lois, Jimmy, Perry. You're looking at these people who humanize someone who's an alien, right? And they give them context. So the cast of characters is a little more interesting than just who's got the better cast of characters. They serve the purpose of the content.
Right, and Batman's cast of characters are way more specific. They're way more eclectic because you got four sons that are very different. You have a butler that's a father figure. You have an insane clown who challenges him, and a woman that he's in love with who's sometimes good, sometimes bad. It's just way more well-rounded cast of characters than Superman. Like Superman's cast of characters, with the exception of Lois Lane, they're just kind of background.
Yeah, you look at Brainiac, Metallo. Look at some of his Lex Luthor, his big villains.
And Perry White and Jimmy Olsen are like, they're filler. They're as needed.
I'll give you Batman may have
You got the best. Yeah, it's not even a question.
No, I don't think that was not close.
It's villains alone.
his villains are iconic. As a matter of fact, I had a shirt I was going to wear today, but because of the nature of your question for the debate, I did not wear it.
Because you know improve our podcast. Is that right?
Who has the best origin story? This is
Batman.
No,
Batman.
I see. I don't.
Saying Batman.
man.
Let's hear why.
A lot of people lose their parents in the hood, dog.
I was gonna say
This man,
Like, yo.
people get shot every day, B. You be all right.
People get shot every day, B. It takes a special chest fund kid to be a hero.
but I want Chris. I want you to tell me why Batman's origin story is the best.
Because Superman was just bored. Batman went through this, lived it, and turned tragedy into something. So I think that's why Batman's better. Superman just exists.
Okay, I'll rebuttal. May I?
Duh.
Superman doesn't just exist. He's the sole survivor of a dying planet where his parents, who were on the cutting edge of technology, sent him off. He's the last of his kind. His origin story, and which is also why Red Sun was such an interesting one-off. What happens
That
when
sounds good.
this guy who's so iconic falls into the wrong hands? And so you got this guy with godlike powers being raised on a farm, a barn, by middle America parents.
But I'll tell you what, though, we all could be Batman, right?
No, you can't.
Yes,
I can't.
You gotta be. You're
gotta be a
billionaire.
trillionaire.
Powers. You gotta be
Lawrence, you
billionaire.
know we can.
Oh
You know-
yeah, you can. You're right.
Wow.
This is a tough one, man, because both their origins are freaking great. And if I had to lean on one, I think that they're both. This is Rich Hugo. This is tough because they're both complex.
But one is not only world building; it's universe building. And so Superman's origin story leaves so much more room for expansion. Also,
But does a macrocosm make it necessarily better?
absolutely.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I feel like, listen, losing your parents to a madman, or not even madman, a hoodlum, a thug that crafts you to be what you want to be, or not what you want to be, what you need to be, what the city needs you to be. I mean, that's a good origin story right there. I don't need the universe. I don't need this man coming from another planet. And Superman reminds me of elephants in the circus.
Excuse me?
Go ahead. Speaking of
It
that,
reminds me of elephants in the circus. These things are like powerful beings, right? Powerful creatures, but they're being chained down by things that they can easily break. People.
That's mad
Superman can
interesting.
easily break anybody.
What's that got to do with
but he
his
was
origin
chained
story?
down. It don't matter. I'm talking right now, Jack. But if I bring it all back, Batman.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. I think both of their origin stories are equally compelling and equally dope. If I were to spend 10 seasons on a character before they put on the costume, which one would I want to spend 10 seasons with? The kid on the farm learning his powers, learning the responsibility, making mistakes, or the kid in private school years before he goes off to train his body? Which origin story is more compelling?
Even a question?
Superman.
I mean, if you put those contexts on it, then yeah, all right. But
Wait. Let's put other context on it. I'm gonna run you a list of origin stories you may or may not be familiar with. Earth 1, Batman had a great one. 0 Year, you read that one, it was incredible. The movie, Batman v Superman, has a new origin story for Batman, which you saw. Batman Begins, which is maybe one of the best origin stories in any superhero film, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Secret Origins, Mask of the Phantasm had a good origin in it. And Year One is maybe one of the best origin comics ever. Batman Year One.
so are you
What are you
agreeing
saying,
with
Jack? I'm confused.
Now I'll read my Superman list.
Why are we reading these lists? What is
You're
this?
Well, I'm trying to sway the vote here because we're
Nah.
split.
No, I think Superman to me has a better origin story because it's more interesting. I think Batman's origin
More
story.
exciting.
Well, I think Batman's origin story was better like 20 years ago when it was unheard of for people to get shot in the alley. Like you wouldn't hear that on the news. Nowadays, I'm like,
Uncle Ben?
yeah, it's common fodder. It's like you're Batman because you're rich, not because your parents got shot. A lot of people's parents get shot, unfortunately.
No. He's Batman because his parents got shot. If not, he would just been a billionaire playboy.
But without that money, he would just be crazy.
talking about?
He's
What would
kind
be-
of crazy
what
in the
would be
last
crazy?
movie, the Pattinson movie.
Man. I think it's split, so each get a point.
Wait. To be fair,
Why
Jack,
would Batman be crazy if he didn't have the
origin list. I know
Because he
you
wouldn't have the resources to be Batman. Like the fact that he could be Batman is because he's part of the 1 percentile. Because he can go off on
He's part of the
resources.
0.0.01 percentile.
I thought Batman was smart though. Batman could,
Why is he smart? Why
He
does he
could
have the
afford his
education he
two-
had?
because he
Why
was
does
born smart.
He
Again,
wasn't born.
How dare you argue all these facts that are just made up?
Hardcore imaginary.
Per Chris's request, anyone out there, here's some great Superman origin stories.
Yes, please, Jack.
Superman the movie, Chris asked for it.
Yeah.
American Alien, Earth 1, The New 52 had a pretty good one. Superman Red Sun, which is fun. It's a Elseworld version of it. Superman Reborn is a great origin story. Superman for All Seasons is one of my faves. Birthright and Man of Steel had a pretty good origin story in it.
Birthright's a banger. Yeah.
And the fun thing about Man of Steel is they really build the Kryptonian world, which was nice.
The next question.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks,
Who
Shane.
has the better secret identity? Not its effectiveness, because its effectiveness is as useful as a story requires it to be. So they're both effective, but its character, the character of Bruce Wayne, the character of Clark Kent, and the identity. Who has the best secret identity?
So I always felt Clark Kent was a little bit hollow and not as developed as Bruce Wayne was. You know, Clark Kent was he's a very one-dimensional, like goofy, good-hearted Midwestern guy, and that's it. Where Bruce Wayne was a business magnate and more complex. And
No, I'm not talking about the guy in the cave, and I'm not talking about the guy sitting in his living room with his shirt open and you see the S. I'm talking about their cover. So Bruce Wayne is just as shallow. He's a shallow playboy. That's his cover.
well, so we're not talking about effectiveness, but we're talking about Lawrence. Do me a favor, take your glasses off and put your glasses back on.
But that's not what he's talking about either.
Wait, Chris, do this for a second. Cover your forehead, nose up. I don't know. It's you. I didn't.
Whose chin is that?
Oh, whose mouth is this?
Okay.
But whose secret identity? Who's the character of Bruce Wayne in the secret identity? So I'll go first, since maybe it's not clear. To me, Clark Kent wins. The Clark Kent is such a wonderful character outside of the suit. Like what Christopher Reeves showed us what Clark Kent could be, lighthearted, fumbling, cartoony. You can get comic relief. It's such a well-rounded, useful character. It's way better than Bruce. When you see Bruce Wayne, you're just counting down the minutes for him to put on the costume. You can actually rock out with Clark for a while and be okay, in my opinion.
Yeah, let me piggyback on that. The reason I would also say Clark Kent in this case is just like Batman. There's three personas. You got Superman, you got Clark Kent, and you got Kal-El, right? On some level. The thing about Clark Kent, which I love about him, is that cover is also, it's like the person. Well, look, he's an investigative journalist, right? So he's still in the middle of everything he's trying to do when he's Superman. He's privy to the information. And he's making a difference. His persona is still trying to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Right? So he's kind of double dipping even on that.
But
I would
Bruce
say
Wayne-
that
No, he's not. He's using all his money to fight a war on crime where he can just fund the police and like resources in Gotham City.
aren't people trying to defund the police right now?
Well, maybe if Bruce Wayne funded them, I don't know.
Right, they'd behave better.
But yeah, Clark Kent actually is like a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist as well.
Exactly. And that's a great point I feel like you made. When I'm watching Batman content and it's Bruce Wayne, it's a little, and you hardly ever see it in the comics. You hardly ever get billionaire Bruce Wayne in the comics because it's just not very interesting. You either get Batman in the cave or you get Batman as Batman.
Yeah.
Superman as Clark Kent is in a lot of the comics because it's his character. It's almost not even a secret identity. It's just his identity.
Facts. Chris, Rich?
I just don't find Clark Kent as compelling as Bruce Wayne. And I like the fact
Not
that
the person. I'm not talking about the little boy who lost his parents. I'm talking about the guy who shows up in board meetings. I'm talking about the guy who is the face of Wayne Enterprises.
and that's what I'm talking about.
He's hollow.
I find him way more interesting than the big lovable doofus that is Clark Kent.
But what makes him interesting? Like, what does he do?
He runs one of the biggest corporations in the world.
No, he doesn't. He pretends to fall asleep at his desk. Because that's the cover. His cover is to not really be anything.
And he's a billionaire playboy, which is dope.
But he's not, though.
Eh,
He kind of like,
I remember that they called him no, he still is. Because there was City of Crime where they called him DD, and the girl's like, how come you call him DD? Like it's for double digits, referring to them for the first time we were together.
wow.
Yep.
Okay. Rich, what say you?
Well, I agree with that.
Rich, we can't hear. You're muted,
He's
buddy.
still muted. Oh yeah. Oh.
I was gonna go with Batman, but I'm gonna have to say Superman because really, I mean, the idea of being a billionaire playboy is cool, but you really don't see him. You really don't see him in that. Like
You see him. He lives in Wayne Manor, has a million dope cars.
He doesn't truly run Wayne Enterprise. There's a board. There's a whole board for that. There's shareholders. He's just the face of it. You should know this. You're a businessman. Clark Kent,
he's living the dream.
But he's not, though. He's not doing any of this.
If you look at Clark Kent, like, it's like, okay, you couldn't see him as being Superman. Like, this doofus here, like, no way. There's no way this guy is Superman, even though, both of the...
They look alike. There's a strong resemblance.
Yeah.
It's very strong resemblance.
But I guess because of his goofiness and some people say his mind control, some people say he has some type of
that's like that's the 70s. We don't.
Anyway,
let's leave that one alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Superman. Bruce Wayne is not Bruce Wayne. Excuse me, Clark Kent is the best cover.
The only time I ever enjoyed Batman is Secret Identity as Bruce Wayne was in Batman Begins. When he had the girls in the... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like 2 seconds of it.
Yeah.
The girls in the pool, the hot car, Alfred going, go have a buying.
I'll be okay. Yeah, I'll be okay.
Because his secret identity is so hollow, you can only see it in seconds. You're not interested in it.
Yeah.
Batman couldn't be Batman without what he does, like constantly being a detective, constantly looking at the crime scenes and this, that, and the third. Like, you can't go out there and be a playboy billionaire and then still be looking at the crime scenes and figuring out how this person did what.
Right? Here's the reason why the Pattinson movie worked. We didn't need Bruce Wayne in it.
It was
Batman without the secret identity is equally compelling. Superman is enhanced by seeing Clark Kent every now and again.
Absolutely.
Man.
Last question. Who has the better costume? Who's got that swag, baby? This is an easy one.
Easy. Batman.
Superman.
What?
Dude, Superman's costume is so iconic. That emblem is recognized around the world for generations. That has to count for something. The idea that anyone is wearing underwear on the outside, Batman, Wolverine, all these heroes, is because he did it first.
Lawrence, even with the pouchy belts.
Ooh, it's his kryptonite. Ooh, it's his kryptonite. Chris pulled out the big gun.
Come on, man. Batman's costume is dope, but it's gray and black. I mean, the artists who draw him make him look cool, but the costume itself isn't like amazing.
Well, they serve function. They're functional, right? They serve a certain purpose. Superman is supposed to strike hope and inspiration in people and goodness. Batman is supposed to strike fear, right? And so their costumes alone they have different functionality for a reason.
Look, if you show a kid a bat, they don't know what it is. You show them that Superman emblem, that diamond with that S, that is recognized around the world for generations. That has to count for something.
He needs to go back to school, okay?
No, but he may not know that bat means Batman. Just like that Spider-Man, that Spider don't mean Spider-Man because it's not.
Because
it hasn't penetrated.
Batman is a local hero. That's why.
He's part of the Justice League.
Batman's been around since
we're going to bring the Justice League into this thing. All right, people gonna know who Batman is then.
No, but I mean in the real our world, Rich. When you look at the logos, Superman, comic book fan or not, you know what that S is. Like you know what it means.
I know what the bat symbol stands for.
If you walk around with a bat T-shirt, somebody may not know that's Batman because it's just a bat.
Lie. That's a whole lie.
That's
your argument right now. That's
both
a whole
like
lie.
80 years.
Man,
they're both like 80 years old.
Tell me how prison was. You talking about you don't know what the Batman symbol looks like? What are you talking about? You
Listen,
fresh out.
I'm
fresh out of prison doing a 50-year bid. That's what it is.
Batman's logo is not what's the most recognizable part about Batman. It's the costume, it's the cars, it's everything. Superman, cape alone, red cape alone, people go Superman. You can see
what are you talking about? The bat symbol. Everyone knows the bat symbol.
No, I think that's a weak argument.
So why is Batman costume better?
It just looks cooler.
It doesn't though.
It's not better. It's different. To me, they're apples and oranges. This is a tough one, right? Because they're so interwoven with the content of the character. You know, you put Superman in the black costume.
No, we're talking about basic costume.
Yeah. No,
I know what we're
Chris,
talking
you know what
about.
happened, Chris? See, he rigged this question because he rigged. He was like, not its effectiveness, it's the character. He rigged this question.
I
He
didn't
knew.
listen. Batman's costume, even in live action movies, has to be so well lit, so shot, so it looks like what it's supposed to be. Superman can be spandex with a great actor just standing in it in daylight, and you're like, wow, that's freaking iconic. Batman, you better light Christian Bale right. Or he gonna
All the time. Have you seen the
suit.
Nicolas Cage test shots of him in the Superman outfit?
That is not a Superman outfit. I don't know what that rubber
Well,
thing is.
and technically, it's not canon. That one, Chris. That never saw the light.
Christopher Reeves standing in spandex in sunlight makes people go in awe.
Yeah.
Put that same bat costume in bright light, you're gonna be like, it looks freaking ridiculous.
You take Michael Keaton.
Well, I saw a fan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say there was a fan film made where they actually put Batman in spandex, and it was pretty freaking dope. I was like, you'll never see it in the movies. I almost wish you would.
Batman should not wear spandex.
No,
We
he
saw
can't. He'd be
it.
killed in an instant. He'd be dead in a night.
Batman's costume looks ridiculous without dope cinematography and lighting. Superman's does not necessarily need that to look dope.
I've seen both in person, like fans wearing both. And when I see a fanboy in a Superman outfit, it's not the same effect to me as when I see him on page or when I see him in the film. It doesn't necessarily work for me. When I've seen Batman outfits just out in the real world, it's striking.
Well,
Can
Superman fanboy has to look like Superman. He has to look like him for the
Yeah,
costume
it has to
work.
work. Do you remember when that guy was on top of the library at Purchase in the Bat outfit?
That was an awful Batman costume.
Yeah, but it still looked terrifying on top of the building.
There
And he
it
was
is.
terrifying
There
from
it
60
is.
feet away on top
In
of the
the
roof in
shadow,
the dark.
he was terrified.
So what's
He
the
struck
tally?
you
Where we at?
hard.
Wait,
Well-
I'm saying, but my vote on this is Superman. Superman's costume is more iconic. It
Mine-
strikes a certain chord.
Absolutely. Superman's costume is like the American flag, man. It's just as noticeable.
So we're split on this one.
But
We're split. Guys,
Mother.
Was it that?
the better superhero is Superman.
It's even a question. Kind of stupid question.
For all you Batman fans,
ah,
look, I'm a Batman fan, but there's only one granddaddy, baby. There's only one granddaddy, and you need to bow to his names.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. We're talking